Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful, blessed people of God. Happy Friday to each and every one of you. I hope and I pray that your hearts, your minds, your bodies, your spirits, your finances, your relationships, your workplace, your home environment, I pray that all is well with each and every one of you on today. I say happy Friday. Let's go live Instagram. Woohoo! Good morning, good morning, good morning to you all. I am delighted to be here another day. Take a quick pause, give God some praise, give him some glory, because he didn't have to let it be so, but he did. And so that for that, I am truly grateful. We've got ourselves another hot day. I don't even know what the degrees is. I just know it's hot. And I can always tell so by the temperature inside the house. It's like, it's hot. It's hot. And the fans, I realized that the fan, y'all could actually hear the fan in my background. My apologies, but hey, it's hot, right? It's hot. And so it's either that or you'll hear the booming noise of my AC. So I apologize for that, but we got to stay cool in this season. So, again, I hope that today is going to be a fantastic day for you all. New York City, please keep in mind not only is there a heat advisory, but we do have this air quality issue going on again. Oh, Jesus of Nazareth. The air quality is at 179. It's actually unhealthy. Jesus. Jesus. All right. Look, I just had to pause. I had to take that in. Yeah. The air quality is at 179, the air quality index. It's actually worse than yesterday, and it's marked as unhealthy. Ay, 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 ay. Hmm. All right. I'm not going to focus too much on that because I do have to go outside today. And just looking at that air quality index, it just disrupted my spirit for just a second. Um, but I do have to go out today. So if you do have to go out today, I pray that the Lord's hedge fence protection be upon us, that he will seal up every portal, every entryway that the enemy may try to seep in. And even if we don't want to consider it the enemy, because anything that works against the people of God is the enemy to me. But even if we don't declare it as an enemy, we just ask that the Lord will cover us, cover our passageways, our nasal passageways, our lungs. Strengthen those who have weakened immune systems and weakened respiratory systems. Strengthen them and just block us from the impurities, from the unnaturalness of it all. Because to me, like, something just doesn't seem right. I was watching someone's post, and they were in Michigan actually, and they were saying that they're getting the wildfires over there, and it just seems odd to them. And people were commenting like, oh well, this is happening, this is people were just so kind of matter of fact, but I guess people are just giving their opinions. But to me, it does seem odd. Like, I didn't pay that much attention to it back in the days, but I don't recall this. Like, I do remember, was it last summer, and maybe even the summer before last, is when we first started experiencing things like this. But um, I don't recall this years ago. I don't. I can't say that I recall anything like into this happening. And I'm certain there were fires, right, before. Right. This is not the first time Canada is experiencing fires and such, but this seems abnormal to me. And one thing that I've learned about myself in this season, uh, good morning, Gigi Turin. on Instagram. One thing about me in this season, this walk of life that I'm in, I stopped trying to explain and over explain things. And that's not even to other people, that's to myself. Because oftentimes, right, you know how like you'll feel something, you'll think something, but then you start to rationalize it. Oh, I'm feeling that this way because it's my time of the month, or oh, it's probably because I didn't have anything to eat, that's why I'm feeling lightheaded. This is probably happening because, like, so you want to give an explanation to yourself as to why something is going on. And sometimes what we do is we water down a situation, like we were talking about on yesterday, where we go through stuff that teaches us how to fight. And sometimes we water down those situations with these sexy excuses that we don't respond the way we should be responding. And the enemy wants that, right? Like they take advantage of that fact, like, oh, she's going to downplay this. Oh, she's not going to pay this much attention to that because she's tired, because this is going on. She's got a little stress at work. She's not going to focus too heavy on this. But we really do have to stop downplaying what it is that we feel, what it is that we see, what it is we believe in that moment. Now, it's fine to talk to yourself, to get a clarity and understanding, but honestly you want to make certain you're going back to God and saying, wait a second, why is it that I'm feeling this way? What's going on here? Because what I never want to do is downplay a situation, and it should be upplayed, like it should be bigged up, it should have the lights shining on it. So I am in this season where I'm going to stop over rationalizing, over explaining to myself why something is happening. And I'm just going to trust, quote unquote, my gut. I'm going to trust my gut. And if I feel some kind of a way, I feel a little iffy about a situation, I'm just going to trust it. Just going to trust it. Right. And this was something that I had to learn, and I constantly have to learn it, to be honest with you. But I remember when I was doing home care, and they used to teach us, they used to say, trust your gut. So if you go into someone's home, because I would be in and out of all different types of homes, all types of buildings. And sometimes you would think, because you were going into a house, that the environment was going to be better. You would think sometimes, because you were in a ritzy area. Like I remember one time in particular, I was in Riverdale, and I actually used to live in Riverdale. And I remember one of the, like, from the building that I used to live in, if I looked out my window, there was this beautiful big house, and that house was $1 million. It was like $40,000 shy of $1 million. So we used to call it the $1 million house. And so you're in this ritzy area where you've got $1 million homes. But then there was a time where I went into this apartment, and the apartment was grotesque. It was a fabulous building. Doorman downstairs greet you, calls to announce you as you're going up. And when they opened the door, the place was in a shambles. So you can never judge a situation, a place, based off of, the location, the environment. So you never know what you're going to get. And one of the things they used to tell us is trust your gut. If something in your gut says, don't go into this space, then don't go into this space. And one of the things that they say tends to happen, is when something bad does happen, people will always give an account and say, something inside of me said not to go in there, but I did. So I learned, I got the green light to give myself permission to trust my gut. And I think a lot of times we have dismissed our gut, we've put it off to the side, because then we start to over rationalize that. So you're hanging out with somebody, you meet somebody, and you just be like, something's just a little off. And you be like, oh, I'm just tripping because of what happened with so and so, or this is going on because I'm feeling this kind of a way. Sometimes you really just got to stop over that, all of that over explaining, and just let it ride as it is. Like, yo, I feel some kind of a way about this person. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe it could be perimenopause. It could be PMS. It could be because I'm stressed. It could be because I'm not really feeling 100%. It could be because of this. But at the end of the day, we're going to safeguard ourselves. We're going to protect ourselves from what it is that we believe. Whether it's right or wrong, I still need to allow my defense mechanisms to kick in. And I think a lot of times we miss the opportunity to fight, right? We miss the opportunity to pray. We miss the opportunity to seek God for intervention because we're so busy over rationalizing it and making excuses, like sexy excuses for it. And I've decided that in this season in my life, I'm not going to do that. So back to the point that I was making, what about like this whole wildfires, the air quality being poor, and not having really paid attention or saw that years ago. I know in the last few years, but I'm talking about 10 years ago or things of that nature. And so if it seems odd to you, run with it. Run with it. I'm not going to dismiss it. I'm not going to take on the explanations that they've been giving us. I'm just going to ride with what I feel. And I'm going to lean into God to tell me otherwise. So I'm going to keep hounding God like I will do for a revelation of a dream. I'm like, all right, Lord, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? I'm going to ride God, for it. Like, okay, why? Why are we experiencing all of this poor air quality? What does this mean? How do I need to move? What does my family need to do? So my point this morning, and I thank God for it. Stop watering down your gut. Stop watering down your gut and explore. Learn to be like Dora the Explorer and get excited about exploring what this means. Get excited about seeking God and saying, what does this mean? What is going on? Get excited about the anticipation of the revelation because it's a lot. Good morning, Carol. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the recommendation is to wear the N95 mask. Um, and I've had some. I've had some. I got to see if I still have some. So prayerfully, those who have to be out will be covered, right? Be covered. And people tend to look at you strange nowadays. Like right after COVID, it was like no big deal. You had your mask on. It was it was what it was, right? Nobody looked at you strange. But God forbid you got on a mask now. People start looking at you strange again. And honestly, again, like you got to stop watering down what you feel to do, what you're led to do, how you're led to move. If something in your spirit says, nah, I need to put on a mask. Nah, I don't need to go there. Nah, I need to skip this. Nah, I don't need to take that. We were saying one time, this was a few weeks ago, we were talking about, I was sharing with you all about these demonic entities that are out in the city. And it's like they want you to come into agreement with them. Like, so they ask you certain questions, and if you stop and say, yes, how can I help you? Then it's like you're coming into agreement. And we were even talking about accepting items from people. So somebody says, hey, I bought you a cup of coffee, and you accept it. It's like a coming into an agreement. And so we want to have that childlike instinct in us where we question everything. We question everything. Hey Jay, good morning to you. So I mean, and again, I don't want to make anybody like super paranoid or anything into like into that, but you got to trust your gut just a little bit more in this season. You got to trust your gut. And so if something feels like what they say, if it looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, well then just trust the fact that it's the freaking duck. Like what are we questioning? Right? What are we questioning? What we should be questioning is asking God, am I rocking with the ducks today or not? Like what are we doing? What are we doing? So I'm trusting my gut in this season. You seem like a nice person. You cool. Everybody like you. But I don't know. Some in my spirit just feels a little off when you come around. So I don't want to rocks with you. I just I don't want to be in your company because of that. And I'm not going to over explain myself. I'm not going to justify it. I'm not going to be like, this perimenopause just got me tripping. Nah, that could be a safeguard. That could be a safeguard. Like we were talking about yesterday, sometimes we go through things not necessarily as a punishment, but to teach us how to fight, how to teach us how to war up, how to teach us to do something different in this season of our lives and stop just allowing stuff to happen. So and in this season, like I find myself like I'm such a lovable, likable person. I love, well, I don't really like people. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I've said that on here. This ain't no surprise to anybody who's watched the show. I don't really like people. I think God's children are very, very fickle. And some of the things that these folks be out here doing really irk my nerves. And I'm not really a people person. But can I behave? Can I act like I got some good sense around people? Can I love on God's people? Yes, 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 I can. But I'm not just because. I have to be led. Got to be led. My mom is actually a good example of that. For those who have met my mom, she's sweet. She's nice. Oh, like everybody be like, oh, hey, ma, hey, ma, hey, ma. They love my mom. Well, I tell you, my mom, she don't be playing with everybody. She don't play with everybody. She do not play with everybody. And I don't know if it's a gender thing. I ain't gonna look, ma, you do you. I ain't gonna say it's a gender thing. But if I introduce a female, she's all like, hey, hi, hi. But if it's a male, it's like, who you? Why are you here? What's your purpose? But she got to rock with that, right? She got to rock with that. So I'm trusting my gut. And if God says rock with them, rock with them. If he says get out of Dodge, I'm getting out of Dodge. Right? We're not going to play. Look, I got it naturally, right? I got it naturally. But it is a safeguard. And I've even been in a space because anytime the enemy comes around, you can have it. I'm out. I'm not that saint. I got some friends that I hang with. Oh, they love when the enemy come around because they will get to warring. They don't care where they at. They could be in the supermarket. They could be at the beach resort. They don't care. They gonna go to war. They gonna slay some demons and they gonna rock it out. They don't care. Me, I'm like, oh, y'all want to infest this place? Bet. I'm out. I'm ready to bounce easy. But in this season, God is like, you're not gonna move from them. You're not gonna move from them. You're gonna stay. And I'm like, but I don't want to stay. I'm ready to dash out. They can have the situation, they can do what they want to do. And God is like, nah, stay. Stay. And I'm like, even if I know they're coming at me, you still want me to stay? And he's like, yeah, because this is the season where it's time to fight. And the fight ain't fleeing. The fight is staying in your position and be like, nah, you move. I'm not moving. You move. And so I found myself recently in situations being around people who I felt like their intention wasn't pure. And God was like, don't leave, stay. And he's like, if you stay, what are you going to do? I'm going to pray. I don't know if I finished telling y'all yesterday when I worked at that job and I was 3 months into the job and they started attacking me. Like they started like turning against me. The director pulled me in her office and she was like, I don't think things are working out. I'm like, what do you mean things ain't working out? Like, I've literally done everything you've asked me to do. And they're like, oh, you're too standoffish. You always sit by yourself. Dude, who picked my desk? You picked my desk. You put me on the outside where everybody else was on the inside. I didn't choose this desk. You chose this desk for me. And then all of a sudden they started turning on me. And as much as I wanted to leave, I did. I'm gonna be honest. I wanted to leave. I'm like, nope, they can have this job. I'm find me something else, Jesus. I don't want to do this. And it's like, no, I need you to stay. And what did I do? Every day I would come in early, I would anoint my feet, I would anoint my hands. And I know if they had security cameras going around, they probably was like, what is this lady doing? Because yep, she would take laps around the unit. And that was my guys. They would be like, oh, she's getting her physical steps in, she's getting her exercise in. Yep, I'm getting my exercise in, but I'm over here stomping on demons and treading in the enemy's territory. And I would be walking around there with holy oil on my feet and praying as I'm going through. I would anoint my desk. I would put scriptures up on my desk. I had sticky notes. Yep, it was the company supplied sticky notes, and I had scriptures all up on my desk because them jokers was at my desk. And then they would even tell me they were at my desk. What? Why are you at my desk when you have your own desk? Why are you at my desk? They were using my phone. Yeah. So where I wanted to leave and I wanted to bow out, I would have missed my opportunity to war up. So I learned how to fight in that season. So it was the pressure, it was the attack that taught me how to fight. And yeah, you give me a choice, I'm out. I ain't trying to. I ain't. I don't want to. I don't want to tussle with y'all. Like, go ahead, go ahead. I don't. I don't want. I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter, but I know how to fight. And I think sometimes the enemy get it twisted because I'm so sweet. I'm so loving. And I'm gonna give God's people a chance. And da 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 da. You think that I'm not gonna fight? Oh no, I know how to fight. I know how to fight. You don't want me to fight, but I'm a fight. So you have to know your seasons, right? You got to know your seasons. You got to know what you should be doing. And for me, if something seems off, I'm trusting in it. So what do you need me to do, God? Am I praying through this or am I exiting? Right? So there's a time for everything. So don't think that the situations that are going on are just because. There to teach you something, and you need to ask yourself, is this the time to flee, or is this the time to fight? And most of the time when it's your time to fight, the exit comes, because after all of that praying, all of that war, matter of fact, because that wasn't the first time I had to do that. I did that at another job that I had. I would walk around the unit, same way, anoint my feet, anoint my hands, touching doors, doing this, going around, round, 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 round. And the one that the enemy was using ended up leaving. They ended up leaving. And I was like, whoa. At that last job, when they attacked me after 3 months, I did all of that. Then I ended up leaving. I ended up leaving in good conscience. They even gave me a party. Imagine that. You attacking me, and then you give me a party for a going away party. Interesting. But I'm no longer going to over explain, over justify what I feel. That's the moral to the story. That's why I stopped by on this Friday to remind you, not that you don't know, because you know, you've been in situations, you know, but sometimes we just need a reminder. If something doesn't feel right, if something doesn't feel right, if somebody's quote unquote vibe is off, like I don't care what you call it, right? Some saints get all, oh no, not the vibe, and then I could care less what you call it, their energy or whatever. You got to learn how to check people's spirits. You got to learn how to ask and pray to God to show you people's true intention. Because everybody who's around you ain't really rocking with you. Some people are just around you because of the benefits. They get benefits. When you around, you know, mad people, doors open up. Um doors come on, right? Doors open up, right? You get VIP treatment, seats and everything. So when they with you, they living that high life. But they're not really for you. And we think because they're around, just because they show up, just because they volunteer to be of service, that doesn't mean that they got good intentions. So we got to start asking God to show us people's intentions, even if it hurts your feelings. Lord, show me the intention of those who are around me. And the result might hurt your feelings. It may have you feeling some kind of a way. But feel what you feel and move on. Do what it is that you need to do. And just because you pray, because I've done this, I've prayed for God to soften the hearts of those who have ill intentions towards me, soften their hearts. Yeah, once he softens their hearts, that don't mean I gotta stay. That doesn't mean I have to stay. Yes, pray for your enemies. That's not so that you can keep hanging with them. Like, it's for you to do your job. It's for you to learn what it is that you need to learn to do. Because if it wasn't for all of that discourse that I was feeling on the job, I wouldn't know how to pray for my environments. When everybody's all smiling and happy to see me and all of this good stuff, yeah, it makes you forget that you can go both ways. Like, nah, oh, I can flip, oh, I can fight. Oh, we can hold hands, we can sing kumbaya, and we can do a feel good, moment. But I cannot forget for myself that I know how to fight. And you got to know when to look, you got to know when to hold them, you got to know when to fold them. You got to know when you got to put them up, you got to know when you have to put them down, right? So today's message is really just probably to confirm what you've already been feeling, because I'm not telling you nothing new. You know what's been going on. You know what you've been overlooking and what you've been um, kind of putting off and over explaining, and oh, this is that because of this. No, 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 no. And if God says to stand and fight, then stand and fight. Pray for their heart to be softened. Pray that their true intentions be revealed. But then pray for yourself as you are doing all of that service work. Pray for yourself that you will be able to get out, that you will be able to exit the situation without significant harm being done to you. Because sometimes it does hurt when people's true intentions are shown. It does hurt. Yo, I thought they was really for me. I thought they really, nah, they like being around you. You like being around you. Why you get mad? Because they like being around you because of what they get. Know what you have to do in that season, in that moment, in that time. Do that. And then on to the next. On to the next, on to the next, on to the next. So that is my message for Friday. I am going to dash out because I actually got to go outside today, but I'm actually thrilled to be going outside today because I got a breakfast date. Yay! And we love breakfast dates. And so I'm going to hang out with one of my special guys today. And so I'm excited about that. And but now in my mind I'm like, Lord, this air quality, but we're gonna get in, we're gonna get out, and we're gonna be safe, we're gonna be covered, we're gonna be protected. So you all dealing with all of this air quality, be safe today. Limit your time in the outdoors if you can. And that's right. Come on, Carol, declare that we are covered. But we do realize that we live in a natural world, and so sometimes these natural issues fall upon our plates, and so we have to know for a fact that God's got us through it all. So you all have a beautiful and blessed Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And I think I'm gonna be here. Yes, I will be back on Monday. I probably won't be on at the latter part of next week because your girl is got a hot girl trip. She got a hot girl trip, so she got to get out of Dodge, and hence the new hairdo, because in the hot girl season my hair was not participating. She was like, nah, I'm not playing this round. And I was like, nah, but you gotta go because I gotta go. And she's like, nah, I'm not going. So I decided to tie her up and get her out of the way so that we can go and have our hot girl time. So that'll be next week. So if I'm absent, you already know the deal. And it'll probably be a couple of weekends that it'll be, because it's hot girl summer. Y'all know it's hot girl summer. Y'all gotta act accordingly. So, but that is later in the weeks. But I'll try to remind you all as the days come about. So you all go forward, be great, have a victorious weekend, and stay safe. And I'll see you all Monday, God willing. Take care, everyone. Be blessed.